Hey guys, something came in the other day. I was talking to my Pleiadian guide, and boom, it was a mind-blowing experience. It's one of those conversations where the bigger picture just seems to kind of click and these pieces just fit together. Um, I had to share this with you. My guide is actually present right now. It's taken a couple days for this to integrate um, and drop in with me and really come forward. So I wanted to share it with you as best as I can, because sometimes when I'm in that frequency and this information comes in and comes forward, it integrates, and then I kind of lose track of it after a few days. It just becomes part of me, and it's not as present as it was, when it first came in. So I wanted to get this out there. It just becomes part of my knowing, I guess, is the best way to describe it. So she came in and she explained to me, because what's going on in the world, what's happened over the past year and a half, has just been absolutely crazy. It seems like our reality has just been turned upside down. And I was asking her, I was saying, well, what's happening here? We know deep within that this is all for the greater good of humanity. Things are coming to light for us to become aware of. We're healing on a collective level, but it seems like there's still a lot of people in fear, a lot of people being controlled, being manipulated, by what they're being shown and what they're hearing. It is my true wish that people would be able to drop in and really feel what's going on inside, and kind of do their own research and look beyond what they're being told, and try to align with that truth. So I was talking to her, reached out about that, and I said, I trust in the path that humanity is heading in. But I was really straight up and I said, how do you know for sure that we are all going to be okay? And what she said to me just literally blew my mind. And I want to share that with you guys. So when we look in terms of frequency, we see it as I've talked about a spiral staircase. So we could look at it like this, right? Almost like a ladder. So we're 3D. My Pleiadian guide is up 5D. I've got guides that are higher. So we've got this ascension, this ladder, and we're working our way up it. As we raise our frequency, we move up, we open up to greater realities, we ground more of our consciousness, and reality expands. And that allows us to get in tune with information that those on a lower frequency are not in tune with. So we're able to see more. Does that make sense? We're able to realize more. We're able to feel more, okay, more truth. And that's just as a result of our increase in frequency and our greater vision. But I said, how do you know where humanity is headed? And she came right out and said to me, she said, because we are you. We are you and in the future. And we can see everything between the point where they are and the point where we are, okay? And this visual that she gave me just blew my mind, okay? We are on a timeline. And if you want to think of us here, this is 3D, and we're moving along to a future, okay? So she told me that she is in the future, and they in the future are able to see everything in the past along the timeline. So they see humanity's development, they see humanity's growth, they see humanity joining with the Federation and growing spiritually, okay? So they're here, we're here, and we're moving this way. So we can look at it that way. They're future versions of us. And then she said, Mark, take that timeline and stand it up. And that blew my mind, because when we look away from our 3D perspective, being here and seeing them in the future, and we stand that timeline up on end, we have 3D here and we have 5D here. And we know as you increase in frequency, you can see all densities beneath, just as though if we look at it from a 3D perspective and they're here, we're here in the present, they can see everything in the past. Okay, so we stand it upright, we have the different frequencies. So that blew my mind. So that means that they know how this timeline is going to play out, and they are here to guide it along its highest potential, okay, which results in a merging of humanity with these higher frequency ET beings. We literally become part of that reality. We're moving into it. And again, the thing that just blew my mind with this, and I hope this resonates with you guys, is how we see it, the perspective. We see things from that timeline, a 3D perspective, and our ego is always trying to predict what's going to happen in the future. Now, when they come forward from a higher frequency, from their perspective, it's simply just looking into the lower dimensions. But from our perspective, being here in 3D, it's as though they're from the future looking back into the past. And just incredible information. At the time it came through, it was just absolutely mind-blowing to me. I hope I was able to convey it in such a way that resonates, so that you can understand it and it makes sense. We have to keep in mind that what's playing out now, and this is another thing she told me, is that there is the power structure. The power structure around this entire planet is losing control. Everywhere they turn, they are running into those who are awakened. They are feeling resistance everywhere they turn as they travel, as they move around the globe, as they try to implement policies. They are feeling a tremendous amount of resistance. She said to me that they are already aware that essentially that structure is caving, it is falling apart. And we think of that as a collapsing of timelines. So the very thing that is going to move us forward in the direction that my guide showed me is us. We are the ones. We are the grounded ones. We are the grounded versions of them. From our perspective, we're living in their past. They are in our future. But they are simply higher frequency versions of us. If we take that timeline and we stand it up, they are higher frequency versions of us. And that's what's happening. So again, I hope this video hit home with you guys. It's still kind of integrating with me. It's just, again, mind-blowing. Feel free to share this. I would really appreciate it. Just very cool conversation. She's here with me now. Originally, she wanted me to spend time with this information and integrate it. And now I felt like I was ready to start to bring it forward. And I'm sure there's going to be more clarity coming from this. But it does do a lot as far as putting together this whole picture of our ET guides, us, these frequencies, the 5D, the 4D, the 3D, the 6D, so on and so forth, in our timeline, the present, the past, and the future, and how it all fits together. So until next time, guys, love and light.